In the city of Baubau in Indonesia lies an underwater cave directly underneath the city. So naturally, we need to dive there in today's episode on the DiveSAGA channel. That's crazy. It's really under the city. This episode has been shot on the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Stay tuned to find out how you can get a discount on your own Insta360 camera. Guys, we made it. 3 flights, and before the last flight a delay of almost 9 hours. But I'm in Baubau in Sulawesi in Indonesia, and if you don't know where that is, that's okay. I didn't know it either, but I'll put a map on the screen. And it was a bit of a trek, but we're going to do some serious cave diving. Look at this beautiful place. An old colonial house on a hilltop in the center of Baubau, a city of 136,000 people in the southeast Sulawesi province in Indonesia. A beautiful building that serves as our dive center for the day, as we are loading up for a 7-day cave diving expedition. See, the southeast Sulawesi landmass has something that cave divers really like. A karst underground with porous limestone, underground rivers and extensive cave networks. Many of them have been explored and documented, but not many of them have been extensively filmed. Local dive leader Chacha and porters Aki and Ronnie know just the places to take me. And the first one is apparently right beneath our feet in the center of Baubau. Long flights and no coffee this morning, but that's okay. Let's go check out this cave under the city of Baubau. That's right, a diveable, flooded cave underneath a populated city of 136,000 inhabitants called Lanto Cave. There's no solid historical record that pins down an exact discovery date or a named discoverer for Lanto Cave, and that's actually typical for sites like this. But what we do know is that the cave has been known and used by local communities for generations, long before cave divers ever arrived. So I'm anxious to see it, and I can't wait for us to turn into a side street and into the bush. But that doesn't happen. The team parks the car near the ocean, on the parking lot of a local mosque. And there is no cave to be seen. Where is the cave?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm looking around and I don't know where it is. Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really under the city, like literally. Wow. Wow. Yup, they weren't lying. So it's time to set up my dive gear and my Insta360 Ace Pro 2, an action camera that I use to shoot many of the DiveSAGA episodes, including this one. It's a super common question, especially in the cave diving episodes, that people want to know which camera we use because the footage looks really good even though it's in a low light environment. And that's because of the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, because it has a 1/1.3 inch sensor, which is larger than most, and therefore it's much more light sensitive. It also helps, of course, that it can shoot at 8K 30 frames per second or 4K 120 frames per second. It has a Leica lens, a 2.5 inch flip screen, and dual AI chip processing. For me, this is the perfect camera when I'm shooting in tight environments that are very low light to get the best results, just like you see on the channel right here. I will put a link below that you can use to purchase your own Insta360 Ace Pro 2, or you can scan the QR code on the screen as well. This also helps the DiveSAGA channel, so I can bring you to more hidden underwater wonders, like the Lanto Cave here in Baubau, where it seems like we've gathered an audience as we set up our diving equipment on the Mosque parking lot. An unusual place to kit up for sure. And considering we dove under a Buddhist monastery not too long ago, I urge you to let me know in the comments if you know of any diveable Catholic churches so I can complete my bingo card. Time to cross the busy road once again and get ready for this dive. Big shout out to our porters, Ronnie and Aki, by the way. I don't usually get to have porters and have to carry all my equipment myself, but this is definitely an arrangement I could get used to. We start by tying a cavern line in the open water section. Lanto Cave has been extensively surveyed and has a permanent system line, but as in many caves, those permanent lines start away from the open water section, so recreational visitors and freedivers aren't lured into following it and getting into trouble. This sign indicates that we are leaving the cavern zone and entering the cave zone, where no more surface light penetrates. It reads, "Stop, prevent your death, go no further." Unless cave trained, of course. This is also the point where the yellow, permanent cave line starts. I wasn't sure what to expect from a cave right underneath a busy city. But for some reason, I didn't expect this crystal clear water, relatively wide spaces, and plenty of decorations. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see Chacha, the dive leader, becoming somewhat blurry. That's because he's swimming through the halocline, a mix between fresh and salt water. One little habit I have when diving in a new environment is gently touching the underground, just to get an idea of how solid or volatile it is, followed by a few good tugs on the system line to verify its state and dependability. After all, in case of loss of visibility, this line is our only reliable pathway home. Somewhat unexpectedly, Lanto Cave has some beautiful stalagmites, stalactites, and flowstone. Here, these formations might look dirty at first glance, but what you're actually seeing is thousands of years of chemistry. The brown color isn't decay, it's a record of minerals, flooding, and time slowly staining the rock as the conditions in the cave changed. Once formed in air, these stalactites and stalagmites now sit frozen underwater, their surfaces gradually marked by minerals carried in from above, preserving a silent history of a cave that was once breathing and alive. Here and there, pockets in the flat ceilings hold our exhausted air bubbles, creating a dazzling display of light.
It's all just smoke and mirrors. Nothing is as it seems. Take me for a ride. I follow deep inside your shattered dreams. It's all just smoke and mirrors. Trust in what you see. Every time I follow blindly, it just leaves me right back to me. Is this the end game? Did you get what you came for?
Lanto Cave is about 500 meters or 1600 feet long. That may sound like a lot, and it sure is when you're in trouble and half a kilometer away from the exit, but it's a relatively small cave. That's why Lanto is often used for cave training sessions. The water is a very enjoyable 25 degrees Celsius, and the cave never gets deeper than 12 meters 40 feet. In many places, much shallower than that. Some of the formations are so delicate and intricate that Lanto could go head-to-head with some Mexican cenotes. We've reached a point where we had planned to perform a jump. In cave diving, a jump is the act of moving from one system line to another unconnected line. Unlike a real-world jump where we temporarily lose contact with the floor, we install what is called a jump line, our own temporary connection that connects the two lines so we can always find our way home in case of a loss of visibility. Finally, we leave a personal marker so we and other cave divers know that this is our jump. We perform this jump so that we can reach our furthest point in the Lanto Cave, a dry chamber still underneath the city of Baubau. It may not look like much, but surfacing somewhere underground, so far from the entry point, is a unique feeling that's hard to describe.
We are still under the city. We are still under the city.
Still?
The city?
Yeah.
Baubau is still.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The idea that we are still below the city of Baubau is indeed a crazy thought. That life above goes on without any idea of what's happening below. Not just our presence, possibly right underneath someone's feet without them knowing. But the idea that we are diving in an underground river, right underneath people's houses and businesses, shows just how layered our planet really is. Now it's time to head back, and that, of course, means backtracking over our jump line and cleaning it up again. Cave diving is all very technical, but in Lanto Cave, the water is more than just the technical dive site that it is for us. For generations, locals have come here not only to bathe, but to cleanse themselves in a deeper, more symbolic way, believing the water carries purifying qualities that go beyond the physical. Some arrive with intention, hoping for healing, clarity, or a shift in their lives, while others come guided by older traditions passed down through the community. There's even a belief that these waters can influence personal fate, especially in matters of love, drawing people here in search of connection or change. The cave itself is treated with a subtle but unmistakable respect. It's not a place of loudness or careless movement, but one where people instinctively lower their tone, as if aware that something unseen might be present. Like many natural sites across Indonesia, there's an understanding, spoken or not, that the cave may be watched over by forces beyond the visible world. And while divers descend into it as a technical environment to explore, navigating lines and darkness, for the people who live just above it, this space has always held a different meaning. It's not just a cave, it's a place of ritual, of belief, and of significance that long predates any diver cutting through its waters. Diving Lanto Cave was a very cool experience, especially thanks to its location right underneath the city of Baubau, and thanks to the expert guidance of local cave diver Chacha. But this is just the beginning. Our truck is loaded with everything we need for a week of cave diving, because right here in Sulawesi there are many more caves like this to explore. So make sure to subscribe to the DiveSAGA channel so you don't miss the next adventures in our series about the caves of Sulawesi. And consider clicking the join button to get access to extra videos and support the DiveSAGA channel in a structural way. And listen to the DiveSAGA Dive Debrief podcast on Spotify for more behind-the-scenes production notes. Thank you for watching and see you soon in another cave of Sulawesi.